Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of Inside the Revolution, presented by the Bump Monkey Mafia, Frankie V.
And Double T, Turnbuckle 10. How's it going, Frankie V?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. We have a special guest with us today, Frankie V. He is the Bump Monkey Mafia Rookie of the Year, the first ever
The inaugural
Bump Monkey Mafia Rookie of the Year.
Chandler, the Truth Hopkins.
What's up, guys? How are y'all? Y'all are so kind for the nice introduction, too, by the way. It's an honor to be your first ever.
We say it every show.
We do say it every show, on commentary, on the podcast. Put it in there every chance we get. I like the ring to it.
Yeah. So, as we all know, man, OklaMania II fast approaching. Last week, the boss gave us a little preview of what's going down. That's going to be...
It's going to be an interesting show all around.
An amazing match.
Yeah, well, the match itself, yes, I'm excited. But the show itself is just going to be immaculate. But getting in the ring with Fuego, who I've already been in the ring with several times, as we've seen, we always have a good match with each other. It's always back and forth. But to put Matt Sydal in there,
yes,
that is...
Man, who's taking the shooting star press? Because I want to watch it.
Well, I mean, my thing is, I don't know if I'd rather watch it like laying down, like, wow, he does get high. Or standing in the corner, like, wow, he does get high. So either one.
Exactly.
Either one's going to be good, man. Man, you've ran singles for a while. You had a good run, and now you're teamed up with Cody Dixon.
Man, Mr. Danger.
Mr. Danger Fart himself.
Yeah, he likes to talk about his poop a lot.
He does.
I heard he likes to send Snapchats about his poop a lot.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of a funny story. Like when we first started training, he started training a couple months after I did, but during training, like he would start sending pictures of his poop to everyone. He was like, "What the heck?" And then all of a sudden, it was Snapchats, video Snapchats of sending. he would send us like. He would send the beginning where it happens and then the end where he's flushing it, you know? So it's become one of those things where, I mean, I'm not sure he's going to like me saying this, but I started sending videos back. Like, after he sends me one of him taking a crap and flushing it, I take it myself, I'm peeing, man. I'm sorry. So I'll record me water hitting water, man.
See, man, how's it been basically your first year?
Actually, it's been a lot crazier than I thought it was going to be. I am on pace right now to wrestle 62 matches this year in my rookie year. That in itself is very shocking because I did not think this soon I would be that like where I'm at. But to see it progress as fast as it has. And have people come up to me and say, "Hey, man, if for you not even being here a year, you hitting your year mark, it's impressive." That means a lot to me. When I first started wrestling, I was 26. I'm 28 now. I did 6 months of training, and this will be a year. My birthday was literally a month, 2 months after I started training. So not even a full year of actual live wrestling. And I've made some marks that have made myself, even if I don't get to last very long in wrestling, like I'll be happy because I've done some great things that I'm very proud of.
I mean, you've crossed some stuff off that people.
Break it down.
Of, man.
You said 62, so that's at least a match or two a week.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have that, you can successfully say, "I've technically wrestled every weekend this year."
Yeah.
Because you had that many matches.
And I've heard from other people that have like, "Man, my first year I had 15 matches, or I had 8 matches, or I had 10 matches." I'm just like, I would have gone nuts. Yeah, why? But I don't know. Like if I'm not wrestling somewhere, I'm finding somewhere to wrestle. Like I love wrestling. I want to be around it. Wrestling is the career that I do want for my long term. I've got goals with it, dreams, and I'm slowly getting to mark them off thanks to IWR and all the other great promotions that are letting me come out and be a part of. But, IWR has given me so much to be thankful for. Very, very, very proud to be on the IWR roster.
It is. We've reached a lot of success through IWR. Because it'll be a year. OklaMania II will be exactly a year.
For Bump Monkey.
For Bump Monkey Mafia.
Really?
Yes. Our very first OklaMania, our very first show that we attended was OklaMania.
Really?
And then later that night is when we established Bump Monkey.
Awesome. I didn't realize that was a full year.
It's been a full year.
So let me turn the tables on you two real quick. I know it's y'all's show, but how has y'all's first year in the IWR been?
Man, it has been, like you said, absolutely crazy. Just the stuff that, like, we're just two fat dudes who love to talk about wrestling.
Like, that's what people do. And you can attest to this because we grew up like 2 hours away from each other. I grew up in a small town of probably 15,000 people, if that. And the very first time I saw wrestling was actually in Amarillo. I went to a house show, a WWE house show.
Yeah.
And then I'd never seen independent wrestling other than that because there's, at least in Guyman, there's nothing up there.
Uh-huh.
And then to say that in 6 months to a year, I got to call Chavo Guerrero's match, and now I've gotten to do it twice. It's just a dream come true. That's
right. Comes quick, right? IWR don't mess around. They make moves.
It was just so nice. Like the couple of times we worked with the Von Erichs, and they don't have to do this. They came up to us after the Gas Monkey show. They're like, man, hey, we just want to thank you for everything you do, and man, y'all rock. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like,
those Von Erich boys, man. The first time that I met them was last year at OklaMania, but like I don't consider that meeting them because they were busy that day, and I was still security so I was security, but the first time I actually got to meet them and talk to them was at one of the shows here in Ardmore at the HFV Center. Whenever they were wrestling the Aero Club, there was a line outside of the door at the HFV, and I don't know if y'all remember that or not, but there was a line outside the door of the HFV, and the Von Erichs pulled up, and everyone literally sat in a line. And the Von Erichs walked up from the back of the line, all with the front line, shaking every single one of their hands, telling them, thank you for coming to the show. Those two guys are classy.
Exactly.
I love them. Awesome guys.
I got to know, man, what's it like being able to say that you were in a tag team match with Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Like,
oh, man. When Jerry first told me that I was going to be in a match with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I called my dad. I called my dad and I was like, hey Dad, guess what? And he was like, what are you doing now, crazy? And I was like, well, I'm getting ready for the shows in Texas, but I just told that I'm tag teaming with one of your like childhood idols. And he was like, well, who's that? And I was like, oh, he carried a 2x4 around in a wrestling ring. Hacksaw? Like, yeah. So it was awesome getting to tell my dad that. But just the general experience was all around pretty cool, too. He was really, really nice, and he was open to ideas. It was funny because he gets there a lot later than us, of course. He gets up there, he goes straight to the merch table, he does his merch stuff. And me and whoever else were sitting there talking about the match. And we get to the back, and I'm sitting there talking with him. I'm like, hey, man, I just want to set you up at the end so I can see you do your shoulder tackle, and bam, game over. He was like, well, why don't you do it with me? And I was like, whoa, like icing on the cake. So really awesome experience.
I actually Snapchatted my dad because that's how I got into wrestling. Is my dad was a huge wrestling fan. And I Snapchatted my dad sitting from the commentary table like, look, it's Hacksaw.
Please tell me you got this pretty smile in there too, right?
I actually got the double tackle.
Shoulder tackle.
Really?
That's what I sent to my dad was
awesome.
a double shoulder tackle.
Yeah, I've got that saved on my phone. That's not going anywhere.
Man, I will say, like, IWR, they give you an experience that's unlike any other promotion we've been to. Very family-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, everybody's out there. You get to meet all the wrestlers. Like, there's nothing else like it.
Well, it's I think a lot of us as wrestlers, we take that term for granted, like wrestlers. We take that really and for granted.
Yeah.
But without the fans being there, without the moms and dads bringing their kids, without the kids loving what we do and smiling, having a good time, well, we don't get to go out there and do that. So the IWR really brings the family together and really shows the camaraderie and the family that is actually at the IWR. Like, we're one big group. We love you guys. You're part of the roster, cool. If you're just a fan, you come in, you see it 2 times a year at a show, awesome. You're family. If you're at every single show, Stacy.
I was getting ready to bring him up. We all 3 went to the same place. I love that dude.
That's who I was gonna say.
Man,
Stacy, Cheryl Todd is another one.
Yeah, Cheryl. You've got I can't remember Cheryl's husband's name right now. Howard. Oh no, well, I'm thinking of a different Cheryl. I'm thinking of from Texas, but they came up to the last show. But yeah, I know what Cheryl's are talking to
or
as well.
Even Broken Bow, the Coleys. How would you spell their last? Curtis,
yeah.
Oh, Curtis. Yeah, he's always there too. Let's see. I can't remember his name. He's always got 2 boys with him. He's a taller white guy, bald head a little bit. He's always at one of them shows. I think his name's Todd, or his last name might be Todd. But there's a lot of IWR regulars. There really is.
Oh yeah.
So without those, I mean, the family just stays with roster and who's behind the scenes.
And the impressive thing is, this isn't a local promotion where, hey, we're at this show every week, come out and see us.
Same venue, same time.
Yeah, no, you're traveling around the state. And these
We'll come to
people-
you, baby.
These people go to these shows. They travel with you.
It's crazy, too. I know we're bringing back up Stacy, but Stacy literally comes to every single IWR show, whether it's 200 miles away or it's 5 miles away. And he spends his own money to do that every single time.
And not only that, but every time I see him, he's buying merch.
Yeah.
Every single time I see that guy.
Dude, he's got to have a closet full of just IWR merch shirts.
I bet he wears a different wrestling shirt every day. I want to be on that level.
Yeah, I mean, hey, old face over here, you know, he likes to wear different shirts every single day.
We he gets there before we do sometimes.
Stacy?
Yeah.
Oh man, he'll be waiting outside the door, and he'll be the first one to say, "Hey, hi, how are you?" And like he will tell you his name every single time too. And there's been times he's come in and he's actually helped put the ring up and helped take the ring down too. So he's a good guy. He just enjoys the show. I mean, and that's what it's about: having fun, entertainment.
Yeah, that's. Like I said, you don't get that a lot of places. Like when we did the shows in Dallas. Man, that first one, it was a Saturday night.
Yeah, that we missed the
Just
Friday because of shoot jobs, but
I
Shoot jobs.
tear up, man. Like when these people that you watch and you've grown up watching, and you're like right there with them. We were both like just.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Who was your favorite one to see in the Texas shows then? Who was the number one guy? Like if you go back and be like, okay, as long as I get to meet one of those guys, who would it have been?
For me, it came when, Chavo Guerrero got thrown into our table.
Yeah.
And
That was at the gas point. Yeah.
that was at the guy. It was the Texas show. That was the moment where the lines blurred and tears started coming. What's great is our audio never cut the whole time. So you get a legitimate reaction from us.
And we didn't cuss. That's the impressive thing.
PG-13, baby. You gotta keep it
cuss
PG.
words.
See, you don't get that at other promotions. You get that with the IWR. You get the feel of being in the show, no matter if you're commentating, no matter if you're a wrestler, no matter if you're sitting front row, no matter if you're sitting in the bleachers. Anyone who knows the boss knows that any one of the moments that he's in a wrestling match, he could be body slamming someone on a bleacher step right in front of you.
That's it.
I've also seen the 250-pound man do the Macarena in the middle of the ring now. I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
But even going back to the first OklaMania, like I said, that's where we got started as Bump Monkey. I'm not going to lie, I completely marked out about 4 or 5 times. Lawler doing the drop kick.
Most beautiful drop kick I've ever seen from, how old is he now?
Oh.
You know?
Impressive, yeah.
Even the broken Matt Hardy and Jim Cornetto's bit, I've loved every second of it.
Cornette, man, that guy is awesome. I love everything he brings to the table. He's so smart. I didn't even really have any problems in the backstage. Like when I introduced myself to him, he was real nice and cool about it and asked who I was. So I mean, he was a nice guy, and I mean, anyone who watches GFW or Impact now knows he's making a change there too. So
Well, back to your question there. We walked into Dallas, and I was pretty excited to meet Hacksaw.
really,
Because growing up, me and my grandpa watched. But walked away, like MVP was like the most real dude.
He's so much bigger in person.
Oh,
too.
he is
so much bigger.
He's a massive dude.
I didn't realize he was that big.
I really thought he was gonna like at one point in time just, where's catering? I'm hungry. Like, you know, I need to eat. I'm not this big for no reason.
But yeah, those all like, I don't know. All those guys treat you like really good. Like,
Yeah.
they could roll in and be, dicks.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is like, do you think like whenever you're younger meeting someone it's like, oh, they're really cool, but how are they gonna be in person? Are they gonna be an asshole to me?
Yeah.
None of those guys really are. I don't know if it's just the way our locker room is or if what it is, but
I think it's the environment and what IWR brings to the table.
So we
It just
have.
helps.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
No, I was just saying that it's that atmosphere.
and atmosphere draws attention to, and no one wants to be part of an atmosphere where it's always feels negative or like you're not wanted. I don't think we've ever projected that either at a show or even in our locker room. So we welcome everybody with open arms, man.
So how does it? This is going past OklaMania a little bit. You have a tag match coming up in Seminole. How are you feeling about that one?
Oh, and Shawnee?
Or Shawnee?
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Seminole.
That's all right. Seminole's a great place.
The October is just jam packed.
October is crazy. I mean, we've got OklaMania II is October 7th, so we all know that. And, me and Cody aren't tag teaming in there, but he's got a huge match as well. He's Bully Ray, man.
Oof.
Man.
Not the card I'd want to draw.
Yeah.
Nope.
Man. But I'm excited to see that match, though, too, because, Cody, he's not going to back down. He's a big boy, and he's been in, the MMA ring several times, so it'll be good. It'll be good all around fun. And then you've got October 14th. You've got Weatherford sold out. We haven't been told who we're wrestling there yet. I'm not sure, if that's a good thing, but Jerry has tried to keep that pretty secretive. So, but yeah, and then you've got October 21st, LAX. Current GFW Global Force champions. I mean, that's big. Cody and I, we're gonna have our hands full. Those guys are no joke, man.
They are not.
I've been watching. If they're listening, I've been watching a lot of LAX here lately. So it's gonna be a brutal match. But don't think that we're gonna just go in and say, oh man, these guys are years and years advanced on us. Let's just lay down for them. I mean, we're going to bring it to them, give them what we've got, and, whatever happens. If we can walk out with those GFW titles.
That's what I was thinking. What if the Young Guns walk out?
Upset alert. Just saying.
Wow.
They better be on their
You
toes.
think there will be a riot?
Talk about a rookie year.
That'd be a great way to cap it off. With those titles, but would there be a riot? I don't know. It depends on how mad IWR fans would be, But I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, just the testament of what you just said, just the amount of prestige in the names that we've mentioned in the past 10, 15 minutes. You don't get that anywhere else.
No,
IWR brings that. If you're a true wrestling fan, and we say this a lot, if you're a true wrestling fan, in the strongest sense of the words, you get out and you support your local wrestling. You don't just watch the big three-letter company or New Japan or anything like that. You go to these local shows, and a lot of people are like, it's just local wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. But IWR brings you an even better product than you get with that. Because I've been to the big shows. I've been there, and you don't get the fan interaction that you get at IWR, but you get the same people.
Yeah.
You're getting a better product.
I agree. I mean,
all the way around.
I think that's something that the indies kind of does to you because you become more appreciative. I'm not saying if you started out at the big three-letter, wrestling organization, or if you started out at New Japan, you didn't have to work through indies or whatever it is. I think that's what really makes the indies different is the wrestlers are more social. But we have that allotted time though, where we can sit there and go out before the show and hang out with you, or during our match we can take an extra 2 or 3 minutes after the match to shake your hand and say, appreciate you coming out, or autographs afterwards, intermission.
I saw you grab a small child last show.
I did. I grabbed a small child. It's funny. That's Milton's son, and my very first wrestling match in Durant, they were there. And then my next wrestling match, 2 weeks later or something, I was wrestling Malaco again. It was in Paws Valley, and they were there. And so afterwards, we was at the booth, and they came up to me, and he's like, "I've been a fan since day one." I was like, "Well, you have been at both shows." So it's kind of cool. And there are as many shows as they can come to. Me and his dad actually talked quite a bit. So I just thought it'd be a cool experience, just sitting there walking by and seeing him. And I was like, "Oh, no, dude, come here." So, but yeah, we just make it more personable.
So you've been all over, these southern states, kind of.
Yeah, well, almost. I'm just kind of in the middle part of Texas. Anyone who wants to help with that.
I remember seeing you
Cough.
in a certain state. I was like, who is this kid?
Are we talking about the push?
Yeah, and you had some pink tights on.
Yeah.
Those look like the boss's tights.
I honestly thought something went wrong that day.
No.
But then again, I was in and out that whole day. Can't talk about that.
But I remember seeing you, and I was like, man, this kid's got a good look. And then we saw a couple more shows, and you just improve every time we see you.
And you break the mold of the typical independent Oklahoma wrestler. And I'm not saying that to be rude, but there is a lot of, and even independent scenes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that go out there and they don't care enough to get the best ring gear. They don't care enough to keep themselves in shape. They don't.
And it's it's just being motivated, man. I was always, from a very young age, my mom pretty much, she raised me and my brother till I was about 12. And then my stepdad came in, which he's my dad. But, I had a lot of trials growing up. And one thing my mom instilled in me when I was younger was, if I have a dream, if I had a goal or something, I had to put forth the effort, but it could be mine. And I'd always told her that I was going to be a professional athlete, and I wanted to be football. I even played semi-professional football for 2 years actually. Did real well, but whenever it came to me deciding yes or no on wrestling, I knew it had to be all in or not, because I am 28. I mean, that's pretty late to be starting. That's like DDP, man.
That's DDP status.
Oh, one of my favorites.
That means you got a world championship coming your way if you're on that track.
But it's a lot of work. It really is, and we don't really, and y'all know on the independent levels, you don't just make just a whole lot unless your name is Ricochet. But
or you're wrestling Ricochet.
Yeah.
3 times in a row.
Exactly. I mean, but that's where the goals and dreams take you. Is you got to push and you got to work for those. I watch motivational videos all the time. I work out at least once a day. The past couple weeks since truly trying to prepare for October, all of October with OklaMania sold out.
Schedule.
Yeah, I've been doing 2-a-days. So this is something I want. It's something that I've been told that I can't have, and that I wouldn't have. So I've got reasons for that as well. But I mean, it's not just me saying, "Hey man, yeah, I want to do this, and this year." I mean, you walk into my bedroom and I've got a mirror that's a good 5 foot by 4 foot mirror, and it's got goals written down on it with them checked off. It's got certain things written on it, dreams that I want to achieve. Some of them have already been checked off. Athletes I want to wrestle, a lot of them have been checked off, but I've got another list that's already on there. So you've got to take that extra motivation to actually make the moves to get to where you want to be at. And there's a lot of wrestlers in Oklahoma that could definitely make it so easily. I mean, Montego Sika. Right, I'm going to just say it right off the top of my head. Montego Sika. Quinzel Pickens. If you don't know that guy, man.
I don't think anybody throws a better forearm, a better kick, a better punch.
You want to tell my chin that? But, I mean, Montego he's so dang good. All he needs is a shot, man. I mean, and he does that with he's married, he has a full-time job, and he's got 2 girls. But he's making his dream work too. So I mean, he keeps going.
Oh yeah.
Another one, we know him very well. Magnificent Malico.
Hey.
He's probably up there on my top.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid is one of the most talented guys, character-wise and in-ring work-wise, that I've seen just on the indies myself.
Just absolutely amazing what he does in the ring.
Man, it's kind of funny because we were at a show this past weekend that we were on together, and Tommy Dreamer was there. Whenever I first started wrestling, Keegan, we were not wrestling names at all. We had these 10 matches in a row. Bam, 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 bam. That's what we had. And so we got to know each other on a personal base. But to see him at this show this weekend, get his hand raised by Tommy Dreamer, get to do a whole 5-minute end of the show segment with Tommy Dreamer with 2 other individuals, DTF, and then to have Tommy Dreamer right after that raise his hand, say next time he's in Dallas he's wanting a House of Hardcore show, and he points directly to Malico as the first entrant with him. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
Dude,
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yeah. And then Tommy leaves the ring and lets Keegan stay in there with his kendo stick. Like, how cool is that? That kid has worked for all of it. I don't care what anyone says. Has he made some questionable decisions and moves? Yeah, but hey, look where he's at.
Right.
He knows what he's doing, and he's getting a lot of attention. Proud of him.
So when it gets down to it, what match did you see personally and be like, I want to wrestle?
Yeah, what
from childhood or
from anything? What was like? Give us your childhood and then the deciding factor. Like, I want to do that.
I don't know if there was ever like an actual deciding factor where I was like, I want to do that. I think it was more so one of those things where, as a kid, I didn't get to watch very graphic stuff for a while because my mom raised me for a little bit by herself, so she tried to protect me and my brother. Okay. I may have been a little bit sheltered. I'm okay to admit it. I'm a mama's boy. But whenever my stepdad came in, my mom worked night shifts because she was a nurse. So when he was home, he was like, "Hey, wrestling's on. You want to watch?" Yeah. So that's when I started kind of getting to watch it. And I'd say it may have been like 98 to 2000 where I started watching. But like as far as any certain match, I wouldn't say any certain match really wanted me to get like into wrestling. I just loved the sport. Like, I loved the atmosphere. I loved the interaction. I loved the fact that it was entertainment. And that was something that I hadn't done in a sport. Like, all the sports that I'd ever done were actual we're physical, but it was more of like, okay, you have a schedule. You're playing so and so. Okay, now you're going to state, or you're going. This is a year-round thing. Like, we're not just playing a sport. We are keeping people entertained, and that's what I love.
There's no off season in what you do.
Yeah.
No.
I know. Growing up, like I said, I watched it with my grandpa, and it was just like, man, that's what I want to do. I remember Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. Like, that was it for me.
Yeah.
Like, the 2 biggest of the bigs, and it was like, man, these 2 dudes are like superheroes.
It just clicked.
And you're like, yes.
Something about Ultimate Warrior shaking those ropes.
See, my superhero wore jorts and a black vest. So.
Oh, man.
That's who I saw, and I was like, I love it.
Did the glass just break?
Oh, see, I did that, but then my dad also, he'd watched it for a long time, so he still had the tapes, and he showed me the Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I was running around doing the video camera all the time.
Yeah, the little one that you had to actually pedal or
No. I was just doing, I did what he did with his hand. When he used to come down to the ring, that's what he used to do.
Just mimicked him.
And
I got you.
In every way possible. Got in trouble in school for it.
I don't know. Like, I'd say if I had to go back, like, I watch a lot of documentaries now, like especially on older wrestlers. My most recent one that I really wanted, like I watched and I enjoyed, and it's really made me more of a fan of the tag team of them as well, is the Road Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Man, I watched their documentary. I don't know, it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks now, but Cody and I had started this tag team, and I was like, okay, what better team to start watching than the Road Warriors, you know?
Right.
So I started watching their stuff and how they even got into the business. They were bouncers
Oh yeah.
at a bar, and then the guy that was running the bar had like a ring downstairs, and that's where they trained at. And he said it was literally like on one side of the ring there was where you hit the ropes, you would hit the cement wall because the ropes weren't allotted enough space from the wall. He said they'd be breaking their elbows and they had bone spurs and everything in there, but they were still doing it. And then just one day, I don't remember who it was, but someone had came down to watch and just see who they were, and just like that, bam, career
That's all
took
it
off.
takes, man, is that one.
That one shot.
Yeah, but people are giving shots all the time though. But it's what you make of that shot. It's what you do with the opportunity that you're given, and I think that's what a lot of aspiring wrestlers that want to make it to the big leagues, we don't see that very often. Like, we get that shot and we don't know that this is a shot because we don't see them very often, and then we end up blowing it, or we out there and we don't give them our best show because we didn't think that much of it. And then you see a month there, 2 months down the road, that same guy's like, hey, look who I found. Bam, look where he's at now. Oh crap, that was my mistake.
Right.
So you gotta take those opportunities when you get them. You definitely have to make the most of them. Like, I'll say right now at Aero Club, man, Kyle, Joe, and Desi, that they have been given an amazing opportunity, and they have a group, a faction that works well together. People love them. I mean, they have shirts in Hawaii. That's crazy. So they've been given an opportunity, and I think they're doing well with it.
Yeah, we're a big fan of what they're doing.
It's
crazy.
It's brilliant. It's
like the modern day Indian, man. You're coming to take back what's theirs, bro.
Hey,
Better watch it.
but you're right, it works. They make it work.
Mm-hmm. It's been interesting seeing it like completely come full center, like where they're at with the Von Erichs now too. I mean, Joe grew up watching Kerry and Kevin on TV with his dad. Like, that is, and that now you're sitting there going, oh wait, 20-something years down the road, I'm the one that's in there with his kids now.
right, and I mean that's probably going to win Bump Monkey's Rivalry of the Year.
Yeah.
You understand? There was something like in this business. You often hear that's magical.
Mm-hmm.
That
Main event
at Gas Monkey was it.
Dude, they put on, I mean, that was probably one of the best indie matches I've seen, like live especially. And you know what's the coolest thing is, as soon as that match was over, MVP and Chavo were standing backstage right next to me when we were watching the show, right? As soon as the match is over, both of them look at me and say, when they come to that curtain, tell them to come to the locker room. We want nobody else. I was like, I'm thinking like, oh man, like I don't know what happened, but okay.
Somebody's gonna get into
Yeah, right. Like, I'm sitting here going, oh man, like they didn't like something, especially with it being the main event. I thought it was great, but
Yeah.
so they come to the back, and I'm like, hey guys, MVP and Chavo want y'all in there now. Like, just go. Like, nobody else, just go. They're like, all right. So they literally dropped what they were doing, all four of them, go back there, and they were back there for a good, 30, 45 minutes before anyone else was let in there, but they basically praised him up and down. I mean, and that's cool to see that generation of wrestler, like MVP and Chavo. I mean, they've been on the biggest stage of them all. And to be able to be at a show where they take talent that we wrestle with daily and say, hey, we loved this. This was amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Here's a few pointers. That is awesome in itself, just to see.
The only way I can describe the feeling, even close, and this is close, the feeling that I got personally at that night is higher. When you watch Undertaker's entrance at WrestleMania, the cold chills you get,
Yeah.
multiply that times 100, but you're there and you can just feel every little thing. You can hear every sound. It's magnified. That was
It's a great rivalry. Great rivalry. I mean, I can't wait to see what these guys do to each other at OklaMania.
So we always ask, like, what's your dream match?
My dream match?
Who do you want? Like the one person you want?
I think most people know the answer to this, and y'all might. I don't know if y'all do or not, but I'm his biggest fan. I'm just gonna say that, even though I'm probably not. There's probably a kid out there that's like, "Oh yay, AJ Styles!" But yeah, no, AJ Styles. Dude is such a smart wrestler. He's innovative. He always surprises me with something new in each one of his matches. I just would like to see where Chandler Hopkins ranks with AJ Styles.
I'm going to give you a throwback AJ Styles story. So I trained, and I used to do this about 12 to 15 years ago. Life got busy. I moved away. Stuff happens. But when I was training and running, a buddy of mine was doing shows in Tulsa. And back then, TNA would come down. They brought like Matt Morgan, Jerry Lynn. Well, there was one show I didn't get to make because I had to work. AJ Styles was on the card. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? I could not get out of work. And I work nights.
Quit.
So my phone rings, and it's my buddy. I'm like, man, I ain't got time to answer it, whatever. So he leaves a voicemail. And I end up checking this voicemail like a couple hours later. And I completely lost like everything, dude. I was like, oh my God. So I click the voicemail. And it goes, yo, Frankie V. This is a phenomenal one. AJ Styles. Trying to do this show, man. But we can't do this show without my boy Frankie V. Where you at, man? You telling me work is more important. I was like, are you kidding? Holy. Like, I ran home. I showed my girlfriend. And I was like, listen to this.
I would have never deleted it.
This is awesome.
Like, that phone would be framed with the wall charger so I knew where it was so I could plug it in when I wanted to and say, hey, listen to this. Don't touch it, but listen to this.
Just listen.
Don't look at it either.
That's awesome.
Never met him. Just had a voicemail.
But still, that's AJ Styles on the other end of your phone.
I've been a huge AJ Styles fan.
Man.
Oh, wow.
I've been since day one, man. That I'm talking like ESPN days and before.
He's literally like, you can only describe him with one word. Phenomenal. The guy is amazing. I mean, and to still seeing, I seen a post on Facebook the other day, and it said the top champions in the world, and of course it was the 3-letter words, but it was like, and their ages. AJ Styles, and he's 40. John Cena, and he's 40. Brock Lesnar, and he's 42. I think that's what it said, 42 or 43. And then the other one, I want to say it was either Chris Jericho or no, it was Braun Strowman, 40.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa. 4 of the top names in the business are still wrestling at 40, and they 3 out of the 4 have titles on them. Like, well, 2 out of the 4 because Braun doesn't, not yet. But
It's just a testament too to AJ Styles, because I know we all saw that post that he posted on Twitter, and it was him standing across from Shawn Michaels. I lost it. I actually called Frankie. Did you see this? I'm sending it to you right now.
yeah.
And then Shawn Michaels, I don't know, do you watch Table for 3 ever or anything like that?
I've watched a few episodes, but not too many to really.
There's one with Shawn, and I can't remember who else. Shawn, Kevin, and Scott, I think, maybe.
I thought AJ was on one.
I can't remember who all this one
I think it was
particular.
Sean, Kevin, and Scott.
Yeah, Sean, Kevin, and Scott, and they talked to him about that. And basically, arguably, Shawn Michaels is Mount Rushmore wrestlers for me, personally.
Yeah, no, I would have
so
to
he's
agree.
up there, and he legitimately said that he did not want to damper AJ Styles.
That's some respect right there. That is some respect. Especially, like you said, he's probably one of the greatest of all times.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. I mean, it's Shawn freaking Michaels.
No, he said specifically, like, I wouldn't be able to give him what
He
he
deserves.
deserves.
Yeah. That shows you how hard AJ's worked, though, too. To earn the respect of a great like that. And Shawn Michaels, like, I mean, to be, let's see, he spent, 10 years in TNA?
10.
10. And worked the indie scenes on the side of that. Coming all the way up to WWE. I mean, he debuted at WrestleMania, right? I do believe.
Rumble.
Or was it was a Rumble. That was
Rumble.
right. That's right. And to see where he is now, I mean, how many times has he held the United States Championship? Like 2 or 3 now?
2 or 3, I think.
How many times has he gone back and forth with the WWE main championship? 2 or 3 times now? Like, guy is on the top of his game.
So we know your dream, like you want AJ Styles. So now we want to take a look back. What has been your favorite match so far in your career?
Man, let's see. Experience-wise, of course, it's going to have to be tag team with Hacksaw. But, like, personal match, like, as far as how well I felt about the match, I would say it would be either a tie with either my handicap or Who's Your Daddy match with Malico.
Okay.
Or I just posted, as they're listening to this, it'll be like a week previous, but if you get a chance, go to my YouTube. I just posted a match with me and Barrett Brown. And that was one heck of a match. Very interesting the entire time. Two athletic guys going back and forth at each other. I mean, that one right there is going to be right there up top. And you haven't even seen it yet, so you should probably go check it out.
Wow.
Just say it. But no, me and Magnificent Malico had some great matches, though.
We enjoyed it. Yeah, that Malico feud was awesome.
Man, beating me up all the time, too. Like, it took 9 matches before I even got one win. But I never pinned or submitted to him. He always... I passed out.
That is true.
But I didn't submit to him.
You did not.
And you did not utter those words either.
I
So
did not call him my daddy. He still to this day, he'll pop out of a corner somewhere and be like, "Who's your daddy?" And he'll go back to doing what he's doing.
We've all been to that hotel in Kansas. So I'm walking around one night, and I come around the far side because it was one of our first nights there. Here comes Malico just laughing out of one of those sets of double doors. Frankie was with me, and I don't know what happened to him. And I just hear a laugh. And I turn around, and Malico's right there. I walked out and around the whole building.
Dude, it's creepy.
You want to talk about giving you nightmares? At the Gas Monkey, we're laying down, getting ready to go to sleep. And the door pops open, and it's Malico, and he's just wearing a pair of boxers. And he goes, "Did anybody order a prostitute?" And I'm like, now I cannot go to sleep.
Thank you, sir.
You have officially
You ruined it.
ruined
my
sleep.
psyche
You ruined
forever.
it. And try rooming with him, man. He's got some crazy, like, things he likes to do. He's just a weird dude, period. Like,
Weird dude.
and it gets me every time. I don't know why it gets me every time, because I should know it's coming. But after he takes a shower, he'll come out of the bathroom like, "Hey, Chandler, will you help me with something?" Or he'll just make up some excuse. I turn around and he's butt naked. He's just like, like, he's just a weird dude. But
Good people.
Oh yeah, good people.
Good people.
Great
He's
people.
just weird.
He's just weird, man. There's nothing wrong with that. He's very into wrestling. He loves wrestling. I mean, other than a couple of the guys I talk to on the indie scene daily, I mean, he's probably one of the only guys I know that will watch. He like literally will watch and dissect wrestling 24/7, like all day, every day. So,
Well, we enjoyed it, sir.
well, I appreciate you having me.
It's been a long-awaited enjoyment.
Man, yeah, I know.
It's been almost a year, actually.
It's been almost a year, yeah. It's been almost a year, so no, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Man. We love IWR. We love to support them and you as well. We look forward to October to seeing you.
Hey man, there's a lot more in store for the IWR. If you can make those October shows, you do not want to miss. I mean, you've got
Exactly, folks.
OklaMania.
You got OklaCon,
Go ahead.
OklaMania II, and then you go into Weatherford for Sold Out,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Hitting Shawnee.
hitting Shawnee for GFW versus
IWR.
Where worlds collide.
Yep. That'll be a good one. I mean, you're going to have a lot of, not only IWR stars, but you're going to have a lot of GFW superstars. Like, it's going to be in a whole new league for us. Literally, it'll be two worlds colliding.
And if you guys aren't watching GFW right now, you should be.
This is so much better.
It is. I actually did a Facebook Live the other day. Well, not the other day, but like 2 weeks ago. And I Facebook Lived one of their whole episodes, and I sat down with all the people that wanted to watch with me, and we had a conversation about what we liked. And, you know, it seemed like a lot of people were on the same page with GFW. Eli Drake has been well underlooked, in my opinion, at TNA until this happened, and now he is on the top of the mountain. Like, that dude is good, dummy. You know, I mean, it's one of his catchphrases. But.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. I caught it.
I thought I got that dumb look. Like, what? Like,
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, folks, you do not want to miss any of the action coming up in October and well into the end of the year and beginning of next year even. A lot of stuff going on with IWR, and we just love being a part of it.
Well, we're glad you guys are a part of it. Big things are coming, as y'all know, and IWR is going to get entertaining very soon.
It already is entertaining. I'm excited.
Even more entertaining.
It's like I feel like we're just like right at the top of a roller coaster, and then it's just gonna dip and then shoot straight up. Because roller coasters come down.
Oh yeah, they got to get that momentum. That's
right.
where the downward comes from.
Right, but I don't think it's gonna be like a deep down. I think it's just gonna be like IWR is gonna do like a 90-degree turn and go straight up and not stop.
Then we can go off the track.
Hey,
like
I welcome off the track. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Oh, folks, we love doing what we do. We thank you for all the love, the support you send us, and keep supporting us. Keep supporting IWR.
Join the revolution with hashtag Join the Revolution. Follow IWR's Facebook page. Follow them on Twitter. Follow Chandler the Truth Hopkins on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
All of it.
Hashtag the truth. Hashtag you can't handle the truth.
Hashtag the young guns. Don't be sleeping on the young guns.
Pew Pew Crew.
The Pew Pew Crew.
Hashtag high noon.
We're gonna hashtag everything, right?
Hashtag a hashtag. Let's do it.
Hashtag the 6-shooter. I mean, let's just do it all.
And us as well. Bump Monkey Mafia, all those platforms as well. And we will see you next time inside the revolution.